This right here is the start of Route 345, and I'm actually not sure what township or area we're in right now, but as this winds through, it'll eventually wind up in Birdsboro. Now, Route 345 is pretty much the closest thing we have to an official motorcycle road, and I like official, unofficial motorcycle road. You know, like got like the back of the dragon, tail of the dragon. There's the Pennsylvania tail of the dragon, but that's kind of a few hours away. So, you know, if you're in the southeast part of Pennsylvania, you know, in the like Philadelphia, Reading, Pottstown-ish sort of area, you know, there's a few mile stretch of Route 345. It's really fun to ride. It's several miles long. And you'll see a ton of bikes down here. Now, this is one of those roads where I've ridden it quite a bit, but I tend to stay away from it. Not because I don't enjoy it. It's an awesome road, but it gets a lot of traffic. You know, from cars zipping through the curves to motorcycles zipping through the curves. I mean, I remember, not to like bash anyone or anything, but I was going down this road one day with Untamed Ride. He was leading, I was behind him. You know, we weren't putting along, and man, this old bike comes through. It's like an 80s something UJM, just roaring past us. You know, guy in like a faded leather riding jacket, bright blue helmet that looked like it was probably 20 years old with little sparkle in it, just roared right past us. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of motorcycles on this road, and you know, if you stick around, you'll see why. Lots of curves and twists and bends like this. Now, there are a couple of areas where you kind of have to watch for gravel. You can see some of it on the side of the road there, where if we get a heavy rain, dirt and debris will get carried across the road, and you got to be careful for stuff like that. Also gets kicked out of, this is French Creek State Park is here, and it's a lot of public land, so you'll see people parked all over the place going hiking or fishing. So there's a lot of traffic on and off the shoulder. Even though there are designated parking areas, it's not uncommon to see someone pulled over in an unusual spot. But it's a fun road. There's also some pretty cool attractions on this road. Hopewell Furnace is, whoa, giant pile of look like salt there. Hopewell Furnace is right down here, which is, it's like an old, well, it's an old furnace. So, you know, they made, was it iron in furnaces? But there's a whole like little community that's left from the olden days. So they've got an old barn, they've got the old blacksmith shop, you know, a couple of old buildings. It's pretty cool. It's a lot like the Daniel Boone Homestead, which I've been to before. I've shared video of that before. But I've never actually gone through and recorded and taken pictures of the furnace, which dumbfounds me because it's not far from home. I can't believe I've never done it before. You know, and that actually reminds me, I guess it was about 2 years ago, I stumbled onto the Pennsylvania Passport. It was, I think it was produced by the Pennsylvania Parks and Recreation Service, and basically it was a little book, it looked like a passport book, full of all the state forests in Pennsylvania and state parks. And the objective, Hopewell Furnace there, is to visit each of the places in this Pennsylvania Passport and use the stamp at that location to complete the book. And I thought this was like a super cool idea. This was something to get me out riding, visiting different places, and it would make awesome content for a motovlog. You know, there's like 50 plus cool places that I could do videos on, destination rides to. This is amazing. So I ordered the book. It's like $6 or something like that. I think it's like $6 shipped. And I got the book. I got it at home, and I start leafing through it, and I find Hopewell Furnaces in the book. So like, that is going to be my very first stamp. You know, and I think this was right around the winter when I got this book. Yep. You guessed it, riding season rolled around. And I never did take out the book. I never did get the stamp. But the Pennsylvania passport is sitting at home on my shelf. And one of these days, I am going to get it out and start filling it out. Because Pennsylvania is a big place. Sometimes I feel like it's too big. You know, if you want to visit someplace on the other side of the state, get at a 5 or 6 hour ride, and that's if you hop on the turnpike, which I absolutely will not do. But if I were to go out to like Erie, which is way up in the corner, that's probably 6+ hours, I would imagine, to get across the state, like catty cornered across the other end. So there are lots of places to see in Pennsylvania, and I just need to start expanding my circle a bit. And you know, it's funny I mentioned that. I was just having this conversation with Untamed Ride a couple of weeks ago. We went for a ride. We wound up all the way in Jim Thorpe, which is a couple of hours north, and we were kind of laughing about the fact that 2 years ago, if one of us would have said, "Oh, let's take a ride up to Jim Thorpe," we would have laughed and said, "Oh yeah, like that's so far away. That's like a weekend getaway, you know, where you ride for a day to get there and then you stay overnight and ride back." But nowadays, yeah, like that's nothing. We'll ride 150 miles to get a burger at some random burger joint or some random brewery just because it seems like a fun thing to do. And I mean, why not? It's out, see new places, build new experiences. This is really fun. Speaking of which, I signed up for an intermediate riding clinic in Norristown through the Total Control. It is a free course offered through Pennsylvania. And I know that seems like a weird transition, but I promise it'll make sense in just a minute. I wanted to take an advanced riding clinic. Unfortunately, there are only 3 locations available in the state to take that course. And it isn't for a lack of interest. A lot of people want to take this course. The issue is there are a severe lack of instructors. So if you want to take the advanced riding clinic, you're either going to go to Pittsburgh, you're going to Gettysburg, or you're going to the Poconos, none of which are close to me. My wife and I were actually talking about making a weekend trip out of a ride out to Gettysburg to do the advanced riding clinic. Now, my wife doesn't ride, she doesn't have any interest in riding, but when I told her that I wanted to get out and take this course, and it was probably going to mean riding out, spending the night, and then possibly spending the night again and riding back home in the morning, she suggested, well, why don't you try to schedule it on a day that I'm working, or on a weekend that I'm not working, and then we can like go out there together. I'll drive out there with the girls, you can ride your bike out, you know, we'll get a hotel room, you go to the course, I'll take the kids around, you know, see the sights and things, you know, we'll meet up for dinner after you're done the course, you know, and then we'll hang out a little bit the day after and then come home. And I thought, well, you know, that seems like an awesome idea. That is going to be a lot of fun. So we are in the process of looking into doing something like that. So there is going to be a Gettysburg trip in my future. The only thing I'm not sure about right now is I don't know when they're going to hold the course. Right now they have 2 dates available. One is in April and the other one is in May. And I can't make either one of those work. One is a Sunday and the other one's a Monday. Or one's a Saturday, but one is definitely a Monday, which seemed really unusual, but it is what it is. I wouldn't mind taking a day off from work and doing the Monday class. Probably be a pretty light class, realistically. I can't imagine it'd be packed full of people on a Monday during the day, but Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So they're just one more thing, one more opportunity to get out and about in Pennsylvania and, you know, see some new things, visit some new roads, and even expand my riding a bit, my motorcycle education. So anyway, all that jabber-jawing has gotten me to the end of Route 345 in Birdsboro. Now, usually I make a right here and go up through this school because there's a pretty cool spot where you can take pictures and see the landscape. However, as you can see from all the school buses, it is getting close to dismissal time for school, and it's going to be a madhouse up there if I go up there and try to park my bike to get a picture while students are dismissing, because it's like it is 3 o'clock. So I hope you enjoyed hearing me ramble as we rode down Route 345 in the Birdsboro area. If so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one.